Good afternoon. Thank you for tuning into HornerBuzz Live. My name is Shane Robson-Smith, and I'm your workplace money coach. And today we're going to be talking about strategies for saving when life throws you a curveball. And life has certainly thrown us a curveball over the last month or so. We're going to tackle this topic in about 10 minutes. And I'm going to talk about staying positive during these uncertain times, right? Maintaining a focus of just keeping your financial status quo, okay, as your primary objective. And then finally, I believe that the COVID-19 situation in particularly is offering us a potential opportunity to actually get ahead in our financial game plan. And I want to show you a really cool activity that we did that I think will really help, okay? So let's start with staying positive. I think the focus on staying positive really is understanding what is under your control and what is not under your control, okay? When we talk about our financial situation, a lot of times the situation that we're in is a result of some of the choices we made and the consequences of those choices. On the other hand, something like COVID-19 is completely out of our control. There's nothing we can do about this virus spreading throughout the world and really our reaction to it in a business sense, right? In a worldwide sense and shutting down. But you can control what you do as a result of the situation. Okay, so remember that. Also, it's important that we allow ourselves to really kind of go deep and understand why we are afraid and why we are anxious over the situation. I have a financial coaching friend who's actually a financial therapist that goes through an activity where he says, take yourself down the path to the worst case scenario. Allow your mind to really process this situation. Okay, and in doing so, you're going to realize that it's not a life and death situation. Any curveball that comes your way is something that you can overcome, but also it's going to push your brain into the problem solving mode so you can start working on how you can achieve success regardless of the curveball, okay? And then finally, when we talk about financial management and mitigating the stress and anxiety around whatever curveball comes your way, especially this COVID-19, it's all about putting a plan on paper, okay? Really focusing on putting a plan so that you can see right there in front of you how you can overcome and surpass whatever obstacles in your way. All right, the second thing here is, as a primary goal, let's just maintain our current situation. So what I would like you to do is grab a piece of paper and prioritize all of your expenditures. So at the top would be food and probably your lights and water bill, right? Your utilities to keep things going. And then you'd want your rent and your mortgage, all right? And then just move on down the list in order of priority, okay? If you can maintain and make your car payments and your debt payments, your minimum debt payments and on through, then just keep going through, okay? And then take the income and kind of process the fact that you're gonna be able to make these payments without a problem. And that alone will kind of mitigate that stress around whether you'll be able to afford the next couple of weeks or the next month or so. Now, I encourage you to continue making all of your payments, even extra payments, if you feel like you're in a secure position and you have a fully funded emergency fund set up. Okay, so that means making the 401k payment at work, absolutely, making the student loan payment, and just moving forward and just living your life the same way you can, okay, or you have been. That's primary if we can do that. Now, if you're in any kind of hardship or you don't have savings built up, that's where this opportunity might occur. That's sort of unique in regards to the COVID-19 situation. Okay, so let's talk about growing savings, all right? After we've maintained that status quo, the next best thing you can do right now is just pack away money because we don't know what's gonna happen over the next month or two. We really don't. This is an unprecedented time. All right, so there's lots of different strategies and ways that you could pack away savings for right now. And then on the flip side, when this situation does end or whatever curveball you're going through ends, then you've got that money to sort of work with to kind of further on, you know, whatever your financial goals were and your plans were with that money instead. Okay, so we kind of push pause right now and we work on building up the savings. How can we do that? Okay, for starters, many of you have probably heard that you can put your student loans on deferment. Okay, once again, if we have an emergency fund, okay, and we're doing fine, income's coming in, all right, there's no problem. I wouldn't personally defer any student loans. I would just keep making that payment and moving forward. Okay, but if you're in a situation where you have no savings or a potential hardship, okay, is either coming your way with your family or you're already experiencing it, then this is one strategy for knocking out a big payment and moving that money into savings, all right? The government is not charging interest, as all loan processors to hold off on charging interest, and there is no penalty for not making your school loan payments over, I think it's a 3-month forbearance period. Okay, so know that this is a strategy that you could use to help lower the monthly budgetary spending and move money into savings. Also, consider deferring a home mortgage payment. Okay, I'm sure a lot of you have heard about this too, but I want to just warn you that this is still an idea or a concept in process, if you will, where mortgage lenders and banks are offering homeowners some relief as far as not making their payments, but they're each sort of working on how you're going to pay that back in different ways. Okay, so this is something that you got to be very, very careful with, and make sure that you're doing your research and calling your lending institution and getting clear understanding over how you're going to repay the next few months if you decide to defer your mortgage payment. There's three scenarios that I've come across. One is that they simply take those payments and tack them onto the end of the loan. That's great. So once again, I'm going to continue making my mortgage payment, but if you needed some cash set aside or want to build the savings or are in hardship and want to use this strategy, then that might be something to do. In that scenario, great. The second scenario is they take that lump sum, add it to your total mortgage, okay, and then charge you interest on the 3 months that you don't pay. Once again, not that big of a deal. Okay, but the third scenario that I've come across is they'll actually, at the end of this sort of forbearance or deferring period, they're going to make you re-sign up for a loan and restructure your loan. And I think that could potentially be dangerous for some of us, and I wouldn't mess with it. Okay, so great way to potentially stop some payments, put some money into savings, but do not do this without doing your research first. Okay. And then, of course, this money goes right over to pad the emergency fund savings account for now until we're through the situation. What else? All right. We all know by now that we have some government relief checks on the way, if you will. At least most of us do. You, your spouse, if you have kids, should be receiving some money. I think they're still working out the details about how they're going to get that money out to us. But once again, this offers a chunk of change that can be used to protect us in the situation. All right. So my advice to you there is, of course, put it away. And then the same goes for anyone that's still waiting on their tax refund. It is tax refund or return season. If you do get one, that's another potential chunk of cash that can grow directly into savings right now. So if you had plans for the money, all right, I would recommend that we hold or delay those plans off, put it into savings until we're through this, and then go ahead and use that money for whatever it was you plan on doing with it. Okay. What about all the stuff that you had already planned on doing and had possibly prepaid for? So we have quite a few of these events that have been going on or that were to be scheduled for April and May. But any canceled flights, any canceled hotel rooms due to travel that you had coming up that has been, any trips to Disney World, right? Any concerts, the theater, sporting events, all these things now are being canceled. Seasons are being canceled. And a lot of these companies are refunding your money. So what are we going to do with this money? Okay. Put it into savings. Okay. Pack it away right now. And then finally, because of our current situation and not having all these areas of entertainment, restaurants open, shopping malls open, we're finding, and basically a lot of us working from home with our kids at home with us, we're finding that our budget's completely different and we're spending a lot less money, okay, potentially. So what are we going to do with that extra money that's sitting around in the budget? Let's get it out there. Let's make sure that we're tallying up that and then pushing it over into a savings account over the next month or two. All right. Popular ones that I'm coming across that I'm working with a lot of clients on seeing how much money they can save is gas. Our cars are virtually not going anywhere right now. Childcare, clothing, being out of work or not, working from an office like a lot of us are. The hair, nails, and makeup, we can push pause on a little bit. We're not dining out. We're not going out shopping, grabbing coffee, grabbing dinner on the weekends. We're not doing happy hours. And a lot of our weekly exercise classes or programs are being, paused, shut down, and paused. Okay, so lots of potential money to save there. So how can you use this to your advantage? Okay, these saving strategies. So our family's financial goal right now is to purchase a new car. Okay, we're looking to spend about $10,000 to $12,000 on a brand new car, and we're setting aside $500 every month towards that financial goal. All right. So what I did is I went through and tallied up all the money that's either already come back to us in returns or is expected to come back to us. We had a really cool weekend trip with friends to Charleston planned last weekend. Okay. We're going to go to a concert. We had nice dinner reservations. Okay. And we were driving up. So all tallied up, we had about a $950 trip. Okay. All that money out of the budget and money coming back from our Airbnb and our concert tickets. All right. Our son's soccer team, right, was all planning a big trip, the whole family to go to an Orlando City soccer game. That season's been canceled, $200 back in our pocket. And then my son's soccer league has been canceled. And so it's another $150 in tournament fees that are being returned to us. Okay. Then I went over onto our budget side and looked at the money that we aren't spending that we typically spend. Okay. One, gas. Our cars are sitting in our driveway, driving 1 mile back and forth to a grocery store. So we're virtually not spending any money on gas this month, $250 back in our pocket. No school means no after school care, $180 back in. My wife often shops with Stitch Fix, and she's going to hold off on that until we get through the situation. A couple $100 back in there. We're not doing haircuts. And then the interesting thing about groceries is we stocked up last month. Okay, it offset some expenses there. Well, this month we're going to actually eat through that 2 weeks stockpile that we have in our freezer and fridge right now too, which will save us approximately $300. So all told, between money that's being returned to us and money that we're saving just because our life is slightly different right now too, is $2,345. What does that mean? That means as far as our financial goal of buying a car, this month alone is setting us 4 to 5 months ahead on that goal. Okay, so I encourage you to really look at the situation. Where is money coming back into your pocket? Where is some of the relief coming in? How can we stop some payments, if we need to, okay, important. And what are we not spending on our regular budget that we could reallocate into a savings account? Primary, right? Maintain. Secondary, build savings to get through the situation. And then when the situation is over, which it will be, where can I use that money? Okay, encourage you to keep some of it in emergency savings and then put the rest towards whatever your next financial goal is. All right. Wonderful working with you all. My name is Shane again. I'm the Workplace Money Coach. Please reach out to me if I can be of any assistance to you. You can get to me through Kim Kent and Diane McMillan. I wish you all the very best, and we'll see you soon. Thank you.